Parents didn't notice that I moved to another state. They were busy with my golden child brother, and now after they found out I am rich, they're calling to reconcile. I packed my entire apartment in May 2019 and drove 12 hours to Colorado. Never told them I was leaving. Figured they'd eventually ask where I was, maybe notice that my background on video calls looked different, or wonder why I stopped mentioning my old neighbors. 3 months passed. Nothing. My brother Connor was launching his third failed startup, some app that was supposed to revolutionize how people share grocery lists, or something equally pointless. Apparently that required every ounce of their attention. Endless phone calls about his vision, his struggles with investors, his stress levels. I kept my old phone number thinking it would make it easier for them to reach me when they finally wondered where I'd gone. They'd call maybe twice a year, always about Connor needing something. Once it was to ask if I could loan him $5,000 for his business. I said no. They didn't call again for 7 months. The most surreal moment came about 14 months after I'd moved. Mom called and asked if I still lived in that apartment near the Target, the one with the weird lobby furniture. I told her no, I'd moved. She said, "Oh, that's nice, honey," and immediately pivoted to talking about Connor's investor meeting. She never asked where I'd moved to. I'd started my software company 6 months after relocating. It was a B2B platform for supply chain logistics. Boring, but profitable. I worked 16-hour days for the first year, barely slept, lived on coffee and protein bars. I hired my first employee in month 8. By year 2, we had 12 people. By year 3, we were doing $8 million in revenue. Not once did my parents ask what I did for work. When they did call, I'd mention I was busy with the company and they'd say, "That's great, sweetie," before launching into another Connor crisis. He'd blown through their retirement savings twice by then. They'd refinanced the house to cover his debts from startup number 2. Fast forward to last month, a major tech conglomerate acquired my company. The news hit TechCrunch on a Wednesday morning with my full name, photo, and the acquisition price, $47 million. My phone exploded. 12 missed calls from my parents before noon. Text messages rolling in. "We need to talk. Your father has something important to tell you. Why didn't you mention you had a business? We saw the news. Call us immediately." I ignored them for 3 days. Let them sit with it. Let them realize that I'd built something massive while they were busy funding Connor's delusions. On day 4, my assistant told me someone was in the lobby demanding to see me. My mom had shown up at my office in Denver, 4 states away from where they thought I lived. She'd actually hired a private investigator to find me. Spent $3,000 to track down the daughter she couldn't be bothered to call. I had her brought up to my office. She walked in crying, mascara running, talking about how proud they were, how they always knew I'd do something special, how the whole family was celebrating my success, the whole family apparently being her, my dad, and Connor. I let her talk, watched her perform this emotional reunion she'd scripted in her head during the flight out. Then came the real reason she was there. "Connor's in trouble," she said, lowering her voice like she was sharing a confidence. "He owes investors $200,000 from his last venture. They're threatening legal action. We've already refinanced the house twice. We're out of options." She actually reached across my desk and grabbed my hand. "You're his sister," she said. "Family helps family. We'd do the same for you." I pulled my hand back, took a breath, said something I'd been practicing in therapy for 8 months. "I moved away 4 years ago and you never noticed. I started a company and you never asked what I did. I hired 50 people and you never visited. I got married last year and you weren't invited because I knew you wouldn't come anyway. You'd have had some excuse about Connor needing you." Her face went completely white. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I stood up. "Connor made his choices," I said. "He's 34 years old. He can figure out his own mess. You made your choices too. You chose him every single time, and I learned to stop expecting anything different. But I never stopped being your daughter," she whispered. I called security. I actually did. Had them escort her out of my building. That was 3 weeks ago. My dad's called twice, left voicemails about how I'm being cruel, how family is supposed to forgive. Connor sent an email calling me selfish. I haven't responded to any of them. The company that thought I wasn't worth their time doesn't get to profit from my success now.